Hey everyone. So I wanted to come on and make a video for what my process has been with making the masks. I took a lot of videos of time lapsing what I've done and I constructed them in order, all the steps. Now, if I happen to miss a step that I didn't get on camera, I'll talk about it because I'm going to do the voice overlay thing over the time lapse. Because during this time, I do like making and editing videos. It's a lot of fun. I do it all the time and then I don't post them because I'm just trying to get good at them. And I found a new app that has made just made it so much better. So that's where I am with it, and that's what's been my downtime, is making these videos. So before we get into the time lapse, this is how I make the masks, everything else. I just wanted to say, like, this has been the craziest experience of my life. What I thought was just gonna be a couple dozen masks, maybe 100 tops, has turned into 611 masks already made or ordered. I was going to be a brat and say I'm stopping at another 55, so I stop at 666 masks, but I'm going to keep going because from what has been ordered and made and donated or shipped to the people that bought them or whatever, I want to keep going. As far as this last order form that I went ahead and shut down last night because it had 130 masks on it, and those will be done like Monday, shipped out Tuesday, or done Sunday and shipped out Monday. I'm not sure yet exactly, because now I'm trying to figure out how to print my own damn labels at home so I can just go drop them off and not have to go into the post office anymore. I want to do an additional 100 masks and donate them to the Navajo Nation because they so desperately need supplies right now. I'm not going to get into anything political or anything historical about how the First Americans have been treated in this country, but I think that any local tribes that you have near you, you need to see what they need. Just needs to happen. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate it to the Navajo Nation. Somebody has already volunteered to pay for the shipping for it. I'm letting them. I was just going to take care of it. It's not a big deal. Because again, I was not intending to make any money off of this to begin with. I just wanted to cover, materials and then, maybe pay a bill or something because I'm not at my normal career right now. And then it just blew up. So I was able to take care of more bills than I thought I was going to be able to take care of, which really helped relieve some stress off that. And then I was able to pay it forward by, getting dog food and cat food to a pet pantry, whether because I bought it or I went around collecting, been able to help support a bunch of local artists. We are right now, in this time that we have the time, we're clearing out our house of anything we don't need and donating them to actual nonprofits that need them and can hand them directly to people. It's not just, oh, look what I donated to Goodwill so somebody else can make money off it. It is literally like, I'm calling around to shelters, I'm calling around to anybody that, like I said, and if anybody's got any ideas, let me know, like, down below, that I can, hey, this shelter or this service that's being provided to somebody needs kids' clothes, needs toys, needs whatever, because we're about to have a ton of it. Because I just want to try and pay this forward as much as I can. So, but yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy experience. I'm so glad that I was able to use a skill that I had to help others. And y'all have been so amazing for ordering these masks. It's just been crazy. So I'm going to talk about what my process has been. I've had a lot of people call me, not call me, but message me and email me being like, what is your process? I think I'm going to start making masks of my own, blah, blah, blah. So a video tutorial on how to make your masks the same way that I've been making my masks is coming. I'm going to probably start on that sometime this weekend, so that way I can have it posted next week, and then and just hopefully maybe get your brain going on how you can be resourceful yourself, because it is really easy to take old pillowcases, because everybody has a million pillowcases that they don't need, and you can make masks out of that. And then also still use hair ties. You just have to cut them and place them specifically. You could, in theory, hand sew these masks if you just need like 2 of them and you have just a needle and thread and some material. You could hand sew them. Are the stitches gonna look straight? No, but who gives a shit? Your face is covered and you're protected. So, video tutorial on how to do the specific masks I do is coming. I'm also, if anybody out there can help me take something that I'm drawing up and then make it PDF form so it'll print out correctly, that would be great. Because again, I suck with technology. Not that I suck with technology, it's an uphill battle for me to learn something and become proficient at it, that's all. So, as everybody knows, I post the order form, and then that order form gives me a nice little, I don't have it in front of me because I'm prepared for everything. It prints it out into a spreadsheet. Now, turns it into a spreadsheet. Now, that spreadsheet, I then take and I kind of clean it up a little bit because everybody's given me well wishes. They've said thank you, and I appreciate those. But when I'm just needing to look down a list really fast, it's not helpful to me. Everybody has written out what they want in different ways. I've gotten long answer versions, like a worded math problem, and I'm like, all right, which is fine, totally fine. I'm not shaming anybody. Or they've listed the size, then the print number first. And the way I do it is it's the print number, and then it's the size. So then, and I'm about to show you why. So I take that spreadsheet, which has the name, their Facebook name, their address, if they're shipping or they're picking up, and then what their order is. So I take that and I make a work order. I never thought I'd have to create one of these in my life, but here you go. Ready? Name, the print number, the size they're getting. In this case, I'm now offering elastic, at least until it runs out. Are they getting elastic or ribbon? Did they pay? Pretty much the only way to get on this sheet is you have to pay, but I had already made a bunch of these. So, and then are you shipping? And then once it's completed, I put done. And now completed is not, oh, mask is made. Its mask is completely made. The loose threads are trimmed. I have taken a lint roller to make sure that it is nice and clean. And then it is packaged, whether in a bag that's being picked up here locally in Tucson, or it's in an envelope with care instructions, and then it's sealed and either in the bag to go to the post office or in the bag ready to be picked up locally. That means done to me. So anyway, so as you can see, you'll see in this video, the way that I'm about to explain it, that's how it goes. Once that's complete, I then make a second work order, which I will talk about. So this is first work order, second work order. Yes, they are 2 different colors because in that way visually I can just see what I need to grab because they have the same amount of rows. So I'll explain that in the video. So if you hear me say first work order, this is what I'm talking about. Second work order is right here. So I take this, now turns into this, where all I'm looking at is the sizes. And then I will explain about the flannel color. And then of course, the ribbon or elastic is what gets checked there. So once in the first step, I line and cut all the outer shell prints. Once I do that, and you can see there's a dot there, which means it's been done, I no longer look at it. I no longer look at it unless I'm like, wait, is this the right order? Because I keep everything in order. It turns into this, and then this is all that I look at. And then, even when I go to cut all the different flannels, I break it down into a mini work order. So that way I'm not like, oh, yellow, I need a large tray set to the side. Green, I need an extra large tray set off to the side. And then, I need another yellow. That's too much time wasted. I cannot do it. So I've time-lapsed everything. I'm going to do the voiceover and explain it. Hopefully this can help out anybody who is bulk making masks. So then this might help them get a little bit more efficient with it. So that way they can get it out even faster. So let's cut over to that. And we begin. This is me laying out all the outer shell patterns and getting them lined or traced out so I can cut them. And again, I'm not just grabbing one at a time, tracing and then going to another one and then coming back to it. I go down that work order and see that, oh yeah, print number 4 needs 3 larges and 2 extra larges. So I line them all at once and then keep going down the list. Now I will be tracing the lining for all the lining of the masks. This is what goes on the inside part of the outer shell. I think this one particularly, I needed like 47 larges, 7 smalls, 18 extra larges, so many mediums. So this way I line them all up at once, and it's just the most efficient way I can. And also, being able to place them in a large amount at once. So I'm making use of as much fabric as I can. Trinity, I ended up recruiting to help cut them out. Augie, I just really needed to eat that applesauce. So while Trinity is working on cutting out that, I am putting the outer shells in order. You actually missed it of me fully cutting them out. So in that way, that stack's ready to go. I realized that I had washed all my flannel and I had not prepped it because I put it in the dryer, so it came out a little bit wrinkled. So here I am ironing it out, making sure that it is folded in a way that I need to have 4 layers of the flannel. So that way when I trace out the flannel, there's the full 4 layers, which turns into 2 layers of flannel for the inner shell. And then I moved on to helping Trinity cut out the liners. So the liners, again, I cut 2 of those at a time. So then that way you have the what you need it to be on the outer shell. Same thing with the outer shell. I am cutting those 2 layers at a time, and a lot of times lining it up so that way the pattern or the print makes sense. So now I am going down the list and I am matching up the flannel to the outer shells so that way they all look pretty and make sense. Now I'm tracing that out because I have my little mini work order because I needed 10 black ones. I needed 3 of that ocean color or whatever it may be, so I can just be really, really quick with cutting them. And as I can, actually add to this right now, as you can see right there, I have like 3 different scissors on the table. We have managed to dull 5 or 6 scissors, so I went ahead and made the investment of I need a good pair of fabric shears, so I bought some on sale. So yeah, again, when I do line these out, I do put the sizes in the bottom corner. You won't be able to see it on your mask. So then that way, again, I'm keeping myself in check. So now I am laying out what this order is, on the table. Now, if you can see, there's a couple of gaps. It just means, oops, I just happened to miss one. So I'm off camera cutting that right now to replace them. And then I am starting to get the stack to start putting the outer shells with it. And then their liners. So that way everything, like I said, is staying in order and keeping me sane. So as I am starting to do the nose to chin stitch, Chris is in the background putting the liners that they need to be, because it needs to be stacked with right side facing with right side facing for the prints, and then the liner on either side of it. So I'm completing the nose to chin stitch on both the outer shell and inner shell. As I get that done, Trinity or myself or whoever's able to help, now I'm making them right side facing to right side facing for the outer shell and inner shell, so I can complete the top seam and the bottom seam, which is right now what I'm doing. I keep them all chained together by the row, so again, I'm staying in order. Occasionally they'll get a little bit out of order, or something like 1 or 2 will be off, and then again I'm just like, that's not what I remembered, so I just go back and I reference the work order. So now getting that all sewed up. New dawn, new day. Everybody is helping me flip them right side out while I finish. I think I had like 1 more row I needed to do. And once that's done, I can now start attaching the ribbon. The ribbon is easier and faster for me to attach than the elastic, but I'm more than happy to do the elastic for comfort. It's just a little bit of a different process. So all these are ready to go. I don't completely measure out all the ribbon at once. I get a good chunk because I don't want to cut anything extra and waste that I don't actually need. So now I am going through and I am attaching all the ribbons. This just takes time, right? There's nothing that anybody can do to help me with it to help expedite the process. So here we are, kids in the background. And I don't mind stopping when my kids need something or my husband needs something, but this is why I have been doing this overnight, just because then I'm completely by myself. I got my headphones on and I can keep going. It is really unhelpful that there's a dog just sitting in the background. I don't even know why I have a dog. Hasn't helped me with this whole process at all. Right here, I totally had to I had to make it a way where I could stand to sew because my back was just killing me sitting for hours and hours on end. So I got a little crafty and stacked some illustrated Harry Potter books on top of each other so that way I would be able to sew and be able to ergonomically get in a different position. So as I finish these up, again, still keeping them in order. Chris up late randomly. So now I'm done with that, and I start lining them up in order. I think right there it was referencing the work order and make sure I was good to go. So getting them all nice and in order because I'm going to go catch a few hours of sleep. And this way, when the kids get up and Chris gets up, they all know how to, snip the threads and everything so they could maybe start on it while I was still sleeping, and then get up and keep going. And again, I'm doing quality control checks through every step. So if I do notice, like in that case, I missed something, I'll go back and fix it. So now we're trimming threads, and we're starting to get them lint rollered and into the bags ready to be picked up or shipped. I'm about to step over to my sewing machine again because I noticed something didn't catch right or whatever. So I go and I fix it and I make sure that it is as durable as humanly possible. So now they're packaged. They're going to be on their way to their new homes and it's ready to start the next step, which is taking pictures again, seeing what prints I have available. I do have them in categories. I have license prints, solid colors, patterns, like geometric patterns, animals, skulls, and vegetation or flowers. So take those pictures, reorganize that order form, and get it posted for the next round. So there you have it. That has been my life now for 2 weeks and 3 days. I am currently, for this order that will be done Friday, so I'm sewing all tonight and all tomorrow, and then depending on how smooth it goes and everything else, I have 106 orders on the mask, 106 masks on the order I'm working on now, because again, when I say order, I mean the group of them, right? Because this is the one I'm working on. So as you can see, that's an individual order. So there's, a couple dozen on there. But I have somebody who ordered a lot. I have another person that ordered 20 at a time. Just because, and I've had people who have put in an order on every single one I've posted, which has been absolutely fabulous. So I will complete these 106 orders between tonight, 8 to 10 hours, and then tomorrow another 8 to 10 hours. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anything else I need to do. I'm going to maybe clean and organize my closet because it's just gotten a little out of hand and I have clothes to put away. But for the most part, that's what I do. I have cutting days and then I have sewing days. That way I'm not sewing every day or just cutting every day. I give that part of my body a break. So right now I'm on this step. The 106 masks are prepped and ready to be laid out. And then, make sure I got the lining lined up correctly with the outer shell. That way I can start that nose to chin stitch and then lay them back out again and then do the top seam and the bottom seam and then ready to go for ribbons. So usually my goal in an 8 to 10 hour thing of sewing is to hopefully, I will definitely complete the nose to chin stitch, but then we'll see how it goes with the top stitch and the bottom stitch because that, again, that's two separate stitches instead of just the one. So my goal is definitely get the nose to chin stitch done tonight and the majority of the top and bottom ones, because then whatever I do have left of that to sew while Chris or the kids are helping me flip them right side out, I can complete it and then I can start on the ribbons. And then again, that takes time. I don't, for the most part, really get started on sewing until anywhere between 4 and 7 o'clock in the afternoon/evening because I've been sleeping until about 11 or noon after going to bed at 6 a.m. And again, I just got to get in that flow. And a lot of times I don't hit that stride until 10 or 11 o'clock at night because, the kids are needing things or I need to help with dinner or whatever it may be. So And again, you know, me explaining any of this, if you're like, oh my God, then why are you doing it? Like, it has nothing to do with that. Like, I'm not, like, this is not a complaint video. This is just explaining what my process has been, and maybe just saying it out loud. That way I can process it emotionally and mentally. Cause it is, like I said, man, it's been a ride. It's been a major ride. So yeah. And then the second I'm done sewing, or even while I'm still sewing, I might trace out the first step or two of the next order. So then that way, at the same time that I'm doing something, and because somebody will be like, oh, I'll cut out. Cool. You cut them out while I'm finishing these steps. So the pre-order that was placed that I will be starting this weekend, that one has 130 masks. I was going to just let that order form ride out and until tomorrow, but I was like, man, it's already at 130. I gotta cut it off before it becomes way too overwhelming. So yeah, so that is what I am going to be doing for the next 4 or 5 days straight. This week I've taken it a little bit easier just because I needed a little bit of that break emotionally and mentally, you know, plus I'm waiting, you know, was waiting to hear what the governor was going to be announcing for, you know, my job, because I am a hairstylist. Are salons reopening? Are they not? What's going on? So far it just looks like only elective surgeries are resuming. Beyond that, everybody needs to follow the stay-at-home order. That's still very, very active, and cover your faces and follow all these CDC recommendations. But again, that all can change very quickly. I personally have been home for 6 weeks. I had planned on taking 2 weeks off before they issued the stay-at-home orders and everything, because I wanted to do my part to flatten the curve. And then it, you know, it turned into what it turned into. So, you know, so we're having discussions back and forth about what I'm going to be doing and everything. So we'll just see. We'll see what it comes. I'm being very zen about it. We are thankfully in a position that we are okay if I need to stay home a little bit longer. Plus, I'm going to move on to other sewing projects that I would like to sell. That I love working with these prints and patterns that I've been working with. They're really cute, and I just have come up with a couple things that I've just never, like laptop sleeve bags and drawstring backpacks with these really cute materials. So I've rediscovered my love of sewing. I've always loved it. I've just never gotten a chance to really dedicate a lot of time to doing it. So here I am. So hopefully this video was very informative for anybody that's had those questions. Hopefully it has been extremely enlightening to those that are trying to do a ton of masks at once, and you can't, you know, and you're just having a hard time figuring out how you want to do this process to expedite it and make it a little bit faster. I'm sure there's maybe many steps in there that I'm doing that maybe I'm wasting time with, but they're worth doing. I don't know. So that's just been my experience. I figured I'd throw it out in the ether, see who could use it, things like that. So any of you that have been deemed essential workers and you've been working this whole time, thank you for sticking it out and being brave. I know it sounds cheesy to be like, I'm just a grocery store clerk. How is that being brave? You're on the front lines, dude. You know, people are getting sick, and you're still going to work. You're still going to work to provide the possibility for people to still get the food that they need. So I will say brave. But yeah, much love to all of you and yours, and keep an eye out for the tutorial on how to make the masks I'm making. That way, if you need to and you're in a pinch and you need to make them, you will have the step-by-step instructions. So catch you all next time.